We all know that these smartest minds on the planet belong to those people who provide voiceover narrations for YouTube channels. But there's actually plenty more intellect to go around. Athletes are often given a bit of a bad rap. Something along the lines of, "My muscles is so big it don't matter if my little brain don't work too good." But that's so far from the case that it's not even funny. Okay, it's a little funny. But away with the stereotypes and out with the truth. There is actually a huge number of professional sports stars who can not only hold their own in the competitive game of chess boxing, yeah, that's actually a thing, but who are nothing less than certified geniuses. From basketball players who are offered more university scholarships than we can count, to football stars whose IQ rivals that of Albert Einstein. We'd be more than happy to have any of these peeps join us on our weekly Wednesday trivia nights. With Shaquille O'Neal on our team, maybe we'll finally win that meat platter. Meat platter. All right, let's get started. Even though he's taken his fair share of steel chairs to the head over the years, which ought to have probably lowered his IQ by a couple of points, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson has somehow managed to keep the majority of his brain intact. Add in all the over-the-top rope suplexes and the crazy Fast and Furious stunts jumping from flaming car to flaming car, and it's a wonder that he can still tell his apples from his pears. Anyway, before he was Mr. Big Shot action movie dude, and before the time of the People's Elbow, and yep, even before the time he was trying to become a pro football player with the Calgary Stampeders, our boy Dwayne was actually going down a rather intellectual path. Back in 1995, the same year that the world was blessed with Toy Story, Johnson graduated from the University of Miami with a Bachelor of General Studies, specializing in both criminology and physiology. Years later, Johnson has become an expert in marketing and promotion, with the product, of course, being himself, and he has a wealth of knowledge of dieting, nutrition, and exercise. Let's stop smelling what The Rock is cooking and jump over to our next clever Trevor, none other than the basketball legend, the Shaq Attack himself, Shaquille O'Neal. Before we talk about this man's marvelous intellect, let's address the elephant in the room. Yes, Shaq believes that the Earth is flat, which doesn't really make any sense whatsoever considering that we've ran around it a few times ourselves. But we won't let that unique belief detract us from the fact that otherwise he's a pretty darn smart dude. Let's take a little tour of Shaq's house, shall we? You walk in the front door, and after he greets you with a batch of freshly baked chocolate chip cookies, you look to your left and see the trophy cabinet. You see his 3 Finals MVP awards, 1 Overall MVP award, the NBA Rookie of the Year award, and his most beloved, that time he ate a hot dog in under 20 seconds award. Then divert your attention to the opposite wall. Here you've got his framed bachelor's degree from the University of Louisiana, specializing in general studies with a minor in political science. Shaq didn't stop there, though. Nope, he was like, "I'm hungry for more learning. Feed me the knowledge." So he pursued an MBA degree online through the University of Phoenix. Me still hungry for learning. Well, that hunger was subdued once he wrote a thesis called The Duality of Humor and Aggression in Leadership Styles, receiving a PhD. That's right, it's Dr. Shaquille O'Neal now. Once a star athlete... No, Billy, he cannot check the weird mole on your back. He's not that kind of doctor. Go make some coffee. Go away. Anyway, so yeah, once a star athlete, now an established academic. Over the years, he's also studied directing and cinematography over in the Big Apple, and was even considering going down the path of studying law. Could you imagine Shaq as a lawyer in the courtroom? His sheer size would win over the jury. Okie dokie, onwards and upwards, friends. Next on the court, we've got another clever basketballer. His trophy case certainly isn't as stacked as Shaq's, but his list of smarty pants endeavors definitely gives him a run for his money. His lots and lots and lots of money. We're talking about the Indiana Pacers' Danny Granger. On the court, Granger could hold his own and did have a few impressive moments. Of course, nowhere near as impressive as Bugs Bunny and Porky Pig schooling the monsters in Space Jam. But he'll never go down as one of the Michael Jordans or Kobe Bryants of the sport. Off the court, however, when Granger's teammates were busy telling fart jokes and hurling spitballs, Granger was trying to disprove Einstein's theory of relativity, just for fun. Rumor has it that he was even the guy who invented the fidget spinner. Jokes aside, when Granger was acing every class in high school, he attracted the attention of some very prestigious universities, including a scholarship offer from Yale. That's right, the university approached him. That's more rare than Barney Stinson taking a bad photo. Anyway, Granger was like, nah brah, Illinois is the place for me. So he enrolled in a super difficult civil engineering program at Bradley University. Anything with the word engineering in it makes our brains hurt. Oh, before we leave the NBA, there's one more brainiac who deserves a mention. His name is Jeremy Lin, and he's without a doubt one of the smartest players to have graced the league over the last decade or so, with an intellect that rivals that of Professor Frink, Professor Farnsworth, and Thomas Edison combined. It's not often that you see many Ivy League graduates pull on a jersey in the NBA, but the one and only Linsanity is one of them. With a degree in economics, Jeremy Lin graduated from Harvard back in 2010, which is more that can be said for Mark Zuckerberg. On that flawless logic, Jeremy Lin is smarter than the creator of Facebook. Not too shabby. Anyway, Lin might never be an NBA Hall of Famer or anything like that, but we're pretty sure he'll find a way to invest his $36 million and turn it into a few trillion. Enough with the frickin' NBA players, man. We get it. All right, we hear you. Time for something a bit different. How about we leave America altogether and hop on our private jet? Well, actually, it's Shaq's private jet, but he's letting us use it as a thank you for babysitting his pet tiger. And make the trip out to England to check out some soccer. The next wonder brain we're focusing on is Chelsea's all-time record goal scorer, Mr. My Brain is Bigger Than Yours, Frank Lampard. When Frank took the General Certificate of Secondary Education exams all those years back, he tallied a whopping 12 A or A+ grades. And that included an A in Latin. Serious question here. Have you ever met somebody who studied Latin who wasn't a super genius? Exactly. Anyway, to put the nail in the coffin and prove the point that he was actually a hyper-intelligent cyborg, Lampard took an intelligence test back in 2009. The result, according to Chelsea's club doctor, is that he had an IQ of well above 150. That would put him in the top 0.5% of the world's population, slightly above Kesha, in the realm of Stephen Hawking and Albert Einstein, and almost double that of David Hasselhoff. No offense to the Hoff, but thank the Lord he was only an on-screen lifeguard and not a real one. England, you've been fun, but there's only so many scones we can eat. It's time to make our way back over the Atlantic to the USA, where the incredibly talented San Francisco 49ers cornerback, Richard Sherman, spends his nights doing Sudoku and putting together 1,500-piece jigsaw puzzles while blindfolded. Don't fact check that, please. So yeah, Sherman pretty much aced high school, finishing second in his class and graduating with a seriously impressive 4.2 GPA before heading over to Stanford on a scholarship. The ex-Seahawk earned his Bachelor of Communications and then decided to go back and pursue a master's. To top it all off, he apparently has a near-photographic memory and is able to remember his randomized 18-character Wi-Fi password. Seriously? I can't even remember where I put my house keys half the time. What were we talking about? All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, while we're on the topic of clever cookies in the NFL, let's have a look at a couple more, shall we? At number 5, say hello to the so-called Harvard man himself, Ryan Fitzpatrick. Fitzy was always a bit of a smart kid, and his intellect took him not only to a $59 million contract extension with the Buffalo Bills, but also to an incredible SAT score of 1580. After crunching the numbers, we can officially declare that 1580 is exactly 80 more than 1500. Which is our favorite nice round number. Ironically, the Harvard man didn't even go to Harvard. He actually went to Cambridge, where he majored in economics with a minor in being a very good quarterback. Oh, there's also this funky quiz thing called the Wonderlick test, which we've discovered is not the same as the Can You Lick Your Elbow test. It's actually like an NFL entry exam, and Fitzy smashed the heck out of it, finishing it in a record 9 minutes. At number 4, we've got roly-poly Myron Roll, who was drafted back in 2010 by the Tennessee Titans. Prior to turning heads on the field, he was showing all the staff at Florida State University who was boss by being awarded the prestigious Rhodes Scholarship. No biggie, we've got one of those. Anyway, after reviewing the Hogwarts House Cup, or whatever we just said, Roll spent the next year earning his master's degree in medical anthropology at Oxford. Fast forward to 2013, and Roll was like, "Football is way too easy. I think I'll become a brain surgeon." And that's exactly what he set out to do. Is anybody else bored with football yet? Because we sure the heck are. Pick a sport, any sport. How about baseball? Does anyone recognize the name Craig Breslow? Well, if you don't, here's the dealio. Sporting News named Breslow the smartest athlete in professional sports. Like, even smarter than Porky Pig. He went to the Ivy League Yale University, where he majored in molecular biophysics and biochemistry. I can't even pronounce that. Molecular biophysics. I can't say it, but he freaking wrote a book on it. He graduated with a sneaky 3.5 GPA and then smashed his med school exam out of the park. We would say no pun intended, but in fact the pun was very much intended. Okie dokie, gang. Next up, we've got the NBA Hall of Famer, Bill Bradley. Most of us would be over the moon bragging to our parents and begging for a new car if we got offered just one scholarship to college. Bill Bradley got one, and then he got another one. and another, and then another 72 more freaking university scholarship offers. He ended up choosing Fancy Pants Princeton, where he graduated with his degree in American history, magna cum laude. Now, if you don't know what magna cum laude is, Mr. I Speak Latin and Kick Goals Frank Lampard told us that it means that the former New York Knicks small forward was really, really, really smart.
I am the smart. I am the smart. I am the smart.
Congratulations, folks, you've made it to the end and we didn't even have to bribe you. Much. To finish things off with a twist, our last mention isn't for one athlete in particular, but it's a shout out to an entire sport. Apparently, according to the University of Washington, people who play this sport are more likely to graduate from university and have received plenty more scholarships over the years. Any guesses? Darts? Football? Frisbee? That's right, Ultimate Frisbee players. Apparently, you're smarter than the rest of us, so hats off to you. Wait, where did my helicopter hat go? That's all for 11 professional athletes who are actually geniuses. Did any of them surprise you? Let us know in the comments. Make sure to like this video, subscribe to The Richest, and join our notification squad. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.